All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Okay, here we go.
Where the plays get broken down and science gets denied.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
Hour 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All right, and welcome back in. Hour number 2 of OTB here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Talked a lot of recruiting there in the first hour. Let's continue that conversation now. Zack Nagy joins us to do so. Does a great job covering the LSU Tigers over on SI. Zack, we appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us.
Yeah, my man. How's it going on y'all's end?
Going great. And look, for LSU fans, I'm sure they're pretty happy this morning as well. Lamar Brown from U High. There was, speculation kind of leading into it. Is it going to be A&M? Is it going to be LSU? And Zach, you certainly seen this play out as well. You don't know sometimes with local guys. Like, a lot of people feel like you have a massive advantage, and sometimes you do, and sometimes it's the complete opposite because maybe they want to go somewhere else. Maybe they don't want to stay close to home. But this is a huge get for LSU.
Yeah, and I think a huge get is kind of an understatement. This is a guy who, in my opinion, man, is kind of a unicorn, a two-way athlete in the trenches that can really play either side of the ball he wants at the next level. And to go out and secure him and really reel him away from Texas A&M at the buzzer is a big one for this team and really shows the recruiting efforts and the new era that this quote-unquote front office of Austin Thomas and company are really starting to put together. They're doing a fantastic job. They're locking down the Bayou State, of course, right now. And it's been an impressive haul so far in the 2026 class. So to add Lamar Brown to that is a tremendous get, like you alluded to. And I think they're really starting to dominate this haul so far.
Yeah, when you look at Brown and Anderson now in this class and both committed to you, both, Louisiana guys. So I know it's not over until it's over. You're not going to, really maybe celebrate till you get to the finish line. They sign and all of that, but they feel incredibly solid right now to LSU. And if it does end up happening, we were talking about it earlier, like when LSU has been its most dominant, it's had guys like this up front. And so this feels like a pair that with LSU and where they're currently at on their defensive line could probably come in and play as true freshmen and play right away. Yeah,
no doubt. And you add those two guys alongside Trenton Henderson, the number one edge from the Sunshine State, and you're looking at a haul down in the trenches. That's fantastic. Those are three guys that have five-star caliber status on whichever recruiting site you want to use. These are guys that can come in and make an instant impact, like you said right there. And it really shows the recruiting efforts of edge rushers coach Kevin Peoples here. He's starting to lock things down and become more of a savvy recruiter on the trail. He's got three big-time names already pledged, and he's looking to add more. I don't think he's done just yet. So you could see a fantastic haul in the 2026 class moving forward. Like you said, whenever LSU's been dominant, they've had guys in the trenches that can really handle business. And now you're looking at the number one defensive lineman in the country in Richard Anderson from Edna Carr pledged to the program. You got Lamar Brown pledged too, who has intentions of playing defense too, despite being the number one athlete in the country. And then you got a number one edge in Florida in Trenton Henderson committed. So the haul so far has been fantastic. The future's bright down there on the defensive line. And you got to give Kevin Peoples his flowers, man. He's been doing a fantastic job, and I'm excited to see how he continues moving forward with it.
Yeah, Zach, let's flip over to the other side of the ball. And I want to ask you about the most important position on the field at quarterback. Now, LSU has kind of whiffed and missed on Bo Bentley, then again, Bryson Beaver. What does LSU do in this recruiting class at the quarterback position, and what's your opinion on everything leading up to this point?
Yeah, I think that's the million-dollar question, right? Everybody wants to see what type of signal caller they could try to bring in the 2026 class. Do they hit the portal once again? So that's the one that everybody wants. And for me, I think you've seen all the success that this program's had in the transfer portal, right? Whether it's Burrow, Jaden Daniels, et cetera. We know that in this new era of college football, you can go out in the portal and get your kind of franchise guys. So I'm not quite sitting here and saying they need to go get somebody in the 2026 class, but certainly whiffing on Bo Bentley is a big-time miss for this program just because he's really starting to hit his stride on the prep scene. This is a guy who's been a fast riser in the recruiting rankings, a guy who had a ton of interest, a ton of offers, ultimately trimmed his list, obviously, to LSU, Oklahoma down the stretch. So to miss out on Bo is a big-time miss for this team and this program so far. But obviously fall brings the flip season, right? You can continue to attack players and see if you can turn up the heat on whoever you want there. But if you try not to do that and you decide to kind of shift focus to the transfer portal, we know what Joe Sloan can do on the recruiting scene. This is one of the savviest recruiters in college football. And I think if you need to hit the portal, which all signs would point towards them doing that, I think you could go out and get a guy who can make an impact if need be.
Yeah, Zach, I mean, forever the kind of the rule of thumb on the big colleges recruiting was take a quarterback out of high school every single year. You got to take one because you got to have people in that room. You never know who's going to hit. You never know who's going to transfer. Whatever. Do you put as much emphasis, like you personally, do you put as much emphasis on that in this day and age with the NIL and the transfer portal, taking a quarterback out of high school every year with that kind of safety net that you have that you can always go in the NIL?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think, no, it's not as important anymore to go out and get a quarterback in your transfer portal class or in your recruiting class each year. You can go out into the portal and go get an instant impact player if you need to. And I think a lot of people obviously are sitting back and wanting to go get a 2026 signal caller, but people are forgetting you went out and got Michael Van Buren from the transfer portal last offseason rather. So to make that kind of falling behind and people are kind of losing focus on that is something that definitely blows my mind a little bit. This is a guy who started as a true freshman in the SEC, put up a fantastic game against Georgia on a really kind of struggling Mississippi State team with a lack of weapons. So we know LSU always has weapons on the outside. I'd like to give Michael Van Buren a little bit of a chance as well, too. Just a guy who's a youngster and has a bright future in the game, of course. But like you were saying, if you need to hit the portal, which you're likely going to do, I think they're going to do that and move forward. It's something that I'm intrigued to see unfold this fall.
So, Zach, when you look at this class, it does have, a lot of positions kind of taken care of right now if you can hold on, get to the finish line like we talked about. But where do you think LSU needs to continue to work? They need to add. Is quarterback maybe now priority number one, or is there somewhere else?
Yeah, I think quarterback's obviously going to be one that you see them try to intensify a flip pursuit this fall. But the wide receiver room is one that you just got to hold on to, man. You got Tristan Keys, the number one wideout in America, pledged to your team. You got Jabari Mack, Kenny Darby. Those two guys have shut down their process and said that they're going to make their way to Bruges. But the one that you got to keep pushing for is Tristan Keys, a guy who's really, really had interest from every school in the country for good reason, taking his fair share of visits to Tennessee, A&M, Miami, etc. So LSU's really going to have to keep their foot on the gas here. This is one that you kind of got to get that must-have. You got to make his way to campus. And they're also not done at that wide receiver position. You're going to see them try to turn up the heat for Jace Matthews, one of the top wideouts in Mississippi as well. The goal for this program is to get 4 wide receivers in the class. They've got 3 committed. And so moving forward, kind of that need for this team is to, A, keep Tristan Keys in the class, and B, go out and get another receiver to add to that embarrassment of riches that you got at the wideout position. I think this fall is going to bring a lot of twists and turns. It's going to be exciting to see how this staff navigates it.
Yeah, we about 10, 15 years ago, kind of LSU coined the phrase DBU, and it's been more like wide receiver U recently in the recent history at the LSU program with a lot of success. You just talked about the wide receivers, but talk about secondary, corner, safety, any commitments that we have, any people on the radar. How is that class shaping up, and are we going to be able to see us kind of get back to that DBU status?
Yeah, Corey Raymond is a recruiting guru, and I think the whole world knows that. This is a guy who gets what he wants. We saw him do it in the 2025 cycle with DJ Pickett, and this is a 6'4", 190-pound menace, a guy who's really ready to make an instant impact in year one. And so he's proven that he's willing to do what he can to bring back that DBU catchphrase, of course, and now you're starting to see him do it in the 2026 class as well. Go out to the West Coast and get Haven Finney Jr. is one that definitely needs a little bit more of attention. I think it's getting swept under the rug a little bit. As the top 10 cornerback in the country, a player who was a top cornerback in the 2027 cycle before reclassing and moving up to a senior year and going into the 2026 class. So Haven Finney's a guy that can come in and help bring back that DBU kind of culture in Baton Rouge. And then you got Isaiah Washington, a player that I want to talk about too, man. He's special. He's a guy who's going to come in being recruited as a defensive back. He's a two-way star on the prep scene. But I think you can see his recruiting ranking rise in the next update. This is a guy who has a ton of buzz, generating a ton of buzz within this coaching staff, a player that they wanted in the 2026 Hall, got him to shut things down on July 4th. And I think as he continues to evolve, I think this is a player that could be a big-time guy for the Tigers moving forward. So, yeah, a lot of people want to talk about wide receiver U right now, but obviously that DBU phrase is coming back. Corey Raymond's helped doing that. He's obviously the architect of it. And I think you're starting to see guys like Haven Finney, Isaiah Washington, et cetera, start to epitomize that moving forward.
As we look at the state of Louisiana, pretty much every top player, no matter what site you're looking at, the top 10 is already committed somewhere. A bulk of those are to LSU. You've got 3 or 4, depending on where you're looking, committed elsewhere. Is there anybody, Zach, in that group that you think LSU has an opportunity to maybe flip them and have them sign with the Tigers?
Yeah, I think when you look at that top 10 right now, I think the program's got, 7 or 8 of the top 10 players in Louisiana committed so far. The 2 kind of being Dylan Barramon and Blaine Bradford, of course, kind of that crown jewel, the defensive backfield. So I think Blaine Bradford has kind of shut things down for the most part when it comes to the Ohio State Buckeyes and being pledged that way. Obviously, one of the top players in America for a good reason. He's an absolute stud at a Catholic high. So for me, I think they're pretty much done in the top 10. I couldn't envision Barramon flipping to LSU. They got a ton of defensive linemen in this class. Yeah. But for me, when I'm looking at kind of the top 15, top 20 players in the state, Darius McKinley is a guy who kind of piques my interest as a player that LSU could land in this 2026 class. Obviously got some family ties to Dominic McKinley, former 5-star top player in the state. So for me, Darius McKinley is a guy that I kind of circle as one that could join this 2026 class if they continue to intensify that pursuit. Obviously a fantastic player. But when it comes to that top 10, Blaine Bradford has shown his intentions when it comes to Ohio State. And then Barramon's a guy that's obviously at a position that LSU's kind of loaded up in right now.
So a second ago, you brought up Corey Raymond and the impact and the kind of the recruiting guru that he is, the impact he has on the defensive backs. But I want to ask, with this recent success on the defensive line, what rumblings, any rumors that you've heard about the impact that the new hire of Kyle Williams has had on that recruiting? Because as a former teammate of his in a couple of different teams, I can tell you there's not a guy that's better at talking in a room one-on-one that you can feel his passion about what he does in the sport and is such a great motivator and a speaker to people. I have to believe that he has had a huge impact on the recruiting trail and a guy that these players, these high school kids want to come and play for.
Yeah, I think obviously Kevin Peoples is getting a ton of respect and flowers right now, as he should. He's dominating right now. But the 1-2 punch of him and Kyle Williams is one that needs to be getting more attention as well, like you alluded to there. For him to make the transition to being a college coach at LSU and maintaining the players on roster is something that's extremely important. That's recruiting efforts in itself to keep those guys committed and locked in with the program, like an Ahmad Bro, Dominic McKinley, et cetera. To keep them in Baton Rouge is a huge recruiting effort in itself. And then you pair him with Kevin Peoples in the recruiting scene on high school, and to keep Richard Anderson committed to the program. Go out and get guys like DeAnthony Lafayette, Lamar Brown, et cetera. The recruiting efforts that he's putting forth obviously is significant. I don't think it's getting enough attention, but that's a guy that commands the room when he walks in it. Obviously, that NFL pedigree, been around the block, been there, done that. Obviously, can talk to anybody, talk to a wall. This is a guy that knows what he's talking about, knows his stuff. When recruits hear him speak, they know that they're talking to a guru. So, yeah, I think Kevin Peoples is getting a ton of attention right now, rightfully so. But Kyle Williams is a guy that deserves that respect as well in the recruiting scene.
All right, there he is, Zack Nagy, good enough to join us and break it all down when it comes to LSU recruiting. Again, does a great job covering LSU for SI. Zach, we appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us, and thanks for the insight.
Appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right, you as well. We up to 9 great questions for Flynn?
Really.
He has a lot of great questions.
I know Lewis is just hitting the sky right now.
So mad.
Just punching air.
He's like, oh.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if Lewis actually touches grass, so maybe he's punching the wall.
Asterisk by that great question because I said a word I said in the NIL, and I meant to say the portal.
It's okay.
I mean, the
was
portal's
still a
all
great
about
question.
NIL. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also got a $1 million question, which I don't know where we rank those.
Oh, what was the $1 million question? The
About the
quarterback?
quarterback.
Quarterback. $1 million
Yeah.
He said that's the $1 million question when you said quarterback
Dang,
class.
hell yeah.
Well, if anybody knows it, it's Flynn. Can't hide money.
You
What is
really
that?
are
Let me-
on a heater.
Let me just bring something up from his answer there is the impact that Kyle Williams has had on recruiting. I can only imagine has been very significant, if not huge, because that guy is I know him very well. I know how he talks and speaks, and if he's sitting there talking to somebody that's in high school, and that high school kid is trying to decide on what coach he wants to be in a room with every single day for his career, I would imagine that Kyle Williams is head and shoulders above any other defensive line coach that he would sit in a room with at any other school.
I can't agree more because of who he was as a player, who he is as a human being.
As a motivator.
I was about to say the way that he motivated, and I was only teammates with him for, I think, 2 seasons, but that's all I needed to see. Then I had to play against the guy in the NFL.
Yep.
And you see the videos, you hear the stories from people that played, 8, 9, 10 years with him in Buffalo. That is, and the thing I love about Kyle, and if you've ever met him, you know this, he's not going to sugarcoat it either.
No.
Like, as a parent, it would be so refreshing for me to have somebody come in there and just, hey, here's what it is. Here's what it's going to be. And if we do A, B, and C, we'll get you to the finish line, which is getting drafted, walking across the stage, and playing at the next level.
Right. And this comment's not about like putting anybody down or saying anything like that. But like when LSU lost Bo Davis, it was a big hit, right?
Yeah.
It was out of the blue. But then when I heard they were going to hire Kyle, which I had no idea that was even an option. I was
Yeah,
like,
no, me
oh my
neither.
God.
Yeah.
I was like, and I don't know if like the term like upgrade or anything like that hit my head, but I was like, oh my God, they just got better at that position from at least a recruiting standpoint of guys wanting to be there. Like, Kyle hasn't had the experience like coaching on the field and everything like that, but go back and watch. There's clips of him like speaking to the Bills like before games and in the locker room and stuff. Just like go watch and say that's the guy that is recruiting now, and since he's been recruiting, we're pretty much we're stacking up some wins on the recruiting trail.
All right, we'll be back. More OTB here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the bench.
All right, go to centralplumbing.org. Centralplumbing.org, not only in Central, in the entire greater Baton Rouge area. We are talking to you. 225-925-8552 is that 24/7, 365 weekend holiday game day number. In an emergency, you can call them and they will be there. But it's not the only thing that they can do. They can help you upgrade at your home, at your business. If you want a complete remodel, if you just need a small remodel, they got you covered. If you want to go tankless with a tankless water heater, they've got you there as well. Check out the website, see what they can do for you, centralplumbing.org.
Central Plumbing, the Payne family, they've been doing it a long time, and they are the experts here in the Baton Rouge area. So call them. I don't care if it's residential, if it's industrial, if it's commercial, whatever it is. I tell you all the time, when we built our factory, they came in and did everything. I didn't know how to do this or what to do. I asked them, I told them what the goal was for our company, and they went in there, built the plan out, installed it. Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
2007 champs, purple and gold to the core. This is Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn, Baton Rouge's go-to for all things Louisiana sports.
Esta tarde no pasa nada. Las calles parecen desiertas. Carmencita se fue de viaje y quizás nunca más la vea. Yo mirando por la ventana, el asfalto brillando perlas. Los lugares que frecuentaba no me atraen ni me interesan.
All right, welcome back in.
Song
OTB
makes me wanna go
104.5
seconds.
ESPN Baton Rouge. This is when you know Alondra's feeling good. She's in a good mood, ready to go.
I really
She's
am.
vibing out.
I would love a Dos Equis right now, though.
Yeah.
We should bring some.
I'm sure we probably have
We
some
have
somewhere
some
in here.
Yeah.
We got 2 right there, guys.
Well, those probably
What
hot.
are the
I just had to
We always
switch
talk
it
about
up.
having a nice cold one, you know?
We always listen to music in English.
We do. We do. Guilty as charged with the English.
Speaking of wanting Dos Equis, what are the weekend plans?
I don't have any.
I don't think Alondra has anything. I think that's why
said-
she's in such a good mood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is.
nice.
Yeah. I
That's
do
good.
love not doing anything.
I crave a boring weekend.
This is like, okay, so summertime for all of us is so dead. And this is like the time for me to catch my breath because once football season starts, it is
Underwater
until now again. Like, because it's football season and then basketball crosses over.
They're going to
and
make a
then-
run, too, so.
I mean, the jury's
For
still
sure.
out on that.
For
But
sure.
Sorry.
and then basketball
That's
crosses
mean.
over, and then softball and baseball cross over with basketball, and then obviously baseball is super busy as well. So it's just right now you're just trying to like chill out and catch your breath and get your life together before the chaos ensues.
Sure.
I try to take like a little vacation before too, but
Yeah. I don't really know that it's going to affect you too much. Talking to Flynn here. So for all of us,
yeah,
we do
we
extra.
do a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. A little lanyap in the fall. Taylor and Alondra produce more shows.
You travel.
I don't know if you're. I don't know. I don't know what the fall
I'm
plans.
personally not going to do whiskey and wine.
Okay, I didn't
again.
look. I didn't want to say. I
Yeah.
don't. You're not.
I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I don't know what the plan for it is.
I don't either. That's
So
why I didn't want to say anything. I have no idea.
I heard Matt was doing it.
Oh, Flynn, you're doing it?
No, people in the chat have asked me if I was. No, maybe whiskey and White Claw.
I think I've you like White Claws?
Who doesn't?
I love White Claws.
Show me someone that doesn't like
I
White
have
Claw,
only-
and I'll show you a liar.
I have only indulged in White Claws one time.
Yeah.
And it was for Flynn's birthday.
I like White Claws, but I kind of like
They
High
shotgun
Noons.
just-
It's like what you had
Yeah, High Noons is
available,
better.
and
Yeah.
me, you, T-Bob, Dick Dixon, Will Arnold,
the sherry.
the
Yeah.
Sherry. I don't know. We had a lot of claws that day, and there was a lot of.
Ain't no laws
just-
when you're drinking claws.
Yeah.
I was in
Yeah. I
college
used to
when
love to
they
say
first
that.
got really, really popular. I was
Same.
in college. So, like, I went and bought a little, like, variety pack. It had, like, 4 different flavors in them. It's not that they were bad. It's just, like, the black cherry and the lime just kind of tasted the same. There wasn't, like,
Sure.
a ton of flavor.
That's like a Skittle pack.
Yeah, kind of,
know?
right?
Yeah.
Like the red Skittle and the green Skittle.
Yeah,
I-
there might be a little different.
I
taste.
feel like you could tell a difference in a Skittle. No.
I think so.
I mean, you can.
I don't
The
really
lemon
eat
but it's
for
not
Skittles
sure.
like,
that
but
much,
it's
but
not
yeah.
for
huge.
sure.
What he's saying, it's not a huge difference.
All right.
Yeah,
So
there's some different notes there.
yeah, I'm
but-
hanging.
Different
You know?
notes.
I'm
different
hanging up
hints.
my smoke smelling clothes and my smoke smelling hats. My Don Juan hat that I wear
Oh
every
my
time I go to
gosh.
Don Juan. So my hair,
Yeah.
I try to save it as much as I
Right,
can, but it
right,
doesn't
right.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm-
So I didn't,
I think-
I didn't know the plan, and I just knew both of y'all do extra stuff during the fall and coaches shows and different things, and
Yeah.
I do have to travel to the games, and we travel for Sirius XM too. We have like 4 or 5 every year that we go to and cover those games, and so just on the road a little bit more. But for you, nothing really changes. So I don't want to hear you.
Business as
Witching.
usual.
Yeah.
Actually, summer's my busiest time just because of, hydration company. It's pretty hot in the summer. So that's like when we
Actually,
pick
like
up.
here in Louisiana, you could use it anytime.
Yeah, I mean,
DrinkMyHigh.com.
that's-
DrinkMyHigh.com. In
now,
the fall, in the
I haven't
spring,
told
in the winter.
our program director, Matt Moscona, that I'm not doing it yet. So
I think
this
you just
might be
did.
the
Well,
you
first
just
he's
did.
hearing
Yeah,
of it.
the good news is if
I
he's listening,
think
he
you
already
just
did.
did.
It's out of the bag.
Yeah,
He's probably
I'm
going to come down here. He's probably going to be waiting on you outside that door here.
I'm retiring.
I don't know. What
from
time's Matt
whiskey
get
and
here?
wine. I don't know, but he's probably listening.
Depending on
She's
the
hanging
day.
up the jersey.
I'm hanging up the jersey. It was
It
a good 2
run.
years.
It was a run.
Yeah.
There's a
Hanging up the
lot
jersey.
of, just T-Bob
I gotta say-
yelling
There's a
and,
lot of stuff on tape.
and
that-
doing things to
yeah.
a blow-up pig that you should never do.
Yep.
I would say that show, more so than this show, would be like the hardest to replace because
Yeah.
of
It's
the,
so
just
I would say
what
I've
do
gotten
people know about whiskey and wine, T-Bob yelling. And
I have gotten more questions about whiskey and wine than I have about anything else.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. When T-Bob decided to leave, every question that I got, it wasn't like, okay, what's going to happen with OTB? It was what's going to happen with whiskey and wine. I'm talking about, like, if I got 100 questions, 92 of them were whiskey and wine and 8 were OTB. Because of what Matt just said, you can't replace T-Bob on that show.
No.
Matt, you could go out there and hump an inflatable hog like T-Bob did. You could do that.
Matt
sure is.
just texted me. He said, working on the whiskey and White Claw graphic as we speak. So you're in, Flynn. Flynn is in. Whiskey and White Claw.
Like Flynn.
Yeah, I don't think
you said it.
So are you accepting my retirement?
Are you accepting my letter?
Are you accepting my retirement?
My children are old enough to where they figured out how to use YouTube. I don't know if I could consciously do that.
We don't have to be, as wild and as free as T-Bob was.
I'm
You can just,
when I watch LSU football games, I'm pretty interested. I usually like to watch them at my house with nobody there. I mean, my family there, but I don't like to have like a watch party or be somewhere because I get like so locked into the game. I have a big TV in my living room and I'm like 8 inches from it, like watching it. Like I'm so close to it, I got to move my head left and right, like to see things. I yell a lot. I get intense, and I feel like I'm in the game. And so I don't like to go to watch parties where I can't hear, like the sound and what they're saying.
You might hear, so you turn the TV down and turn me and Blair up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's what you're talking about.
I get you for sure. Like the only time I ever have a watch party is like Super Bowl.
Foxhole.
Because like, let's remember, I'm a Cowboys fan. My team's never in the Super Bowl, so I don't really care. So it's like I'll have a watch party for that. But for LSU, I'm kind of with you.
Yeah, and
just at home.
And I get mad.
I don't want somebody else to have to experience watching LSU with me. Like it's not like I don't want them there. Like I don't want them to have to go through that.
Right.
It's not fun for anybody around me, I don't think.
No.
I mean, I try to be conscious, a little self-aware, if you will, of my surroundings and what I'm doing and saying. But when you're watching LSU, it's just like, nah, just leave me alone. Let me watch this game. I don't want to come over to a pool party because you're watching it outside in your outdoor kitchen. I don't want to do that.
No.
I want to sit in my living room, controlled environment. I want to have the AC on at like 68 degrees. And I want to watch this thing. That's why I only go to physically go to a couple of games a year. I mean, for one, it was challenging with like younger kids, but my kids are starting to get to that age where they want to go a little bit more. So we're gonna go to some more games this year, but I like to be locked in the living room.
With the TV turned down and the radio turned up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I used to go to games as a kid, and my dad used to sit with his little radio, and he had his headphones on at the game in the bleachers.
Yeah.
Anybody out there do that?
They still do that.
They still do it?
A ton of people still do that. Yeah.
That's what I do in my living room, listening to you.
I don't believe you.
Doesn't matter.
Because we would be ahead if we were on your headphones and you're watching on TV. That's why Chris Blair always says before we get started to sync up with the call and the TV.
How do you do that?
It's pretty
You
easy.
can't pause radio.
He explains it on the commercial. I don't
He
remember.
does.
Pause radio.
No, you pause the TV.
Yeah.
And then because the TV is behind or ahead, so you pause the TV and you wait
The TV's ahead?
That's what the commercial said. That's what
we are
Blair-
No, the radio's
Oh.
ahead.
You can't pause
ahead.
radio.
The radio's ahead.
You can pause the stream.
Yeah, like you do it on like your Alexa, and you can pause.
You're
it.
not not turning on the radio. You're doing it
Do
on
you
the
have Siri?
app. So like pause the app, let the TV catch up, then
Wait.
hit play.
You use Siri to listen to radio? Isn't that what like radios are for?
You can. You like, hey Siri, play 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, and she'll pull it up.
Do you have to have like a radio app to listen to regular
You
radio?
can
You're
just
asking
do it
a
on
lot
the
of questions.
Safari.
What are you, a
You
Fed?
could just do it on Safari. Like you
I
can
don't
go
know.
to.
I've never listened to FM radio on my cell phone. Sorry.
It's probably a lot easier now, but like I used to get so pissed because at the stadium one time, my dad bought the little earpiece, like that LSU sold. All you did was turn it on and it was on. Like that's it. You have to sync it. It did nothing else.
Oh.
But for away games, we're sitting on the couch. He's still listening to the call. This is Hawthorne at the time. And it's LSU, Georgia. You guys remember the big Charles Scott
Georgia?
run
Yeah.
when they were in Athens, okay? sitting there on the couch. LSU's going for the winning drive, fourth quarter, 5 minutes left. All of a sudden, I'm sitting on one couch. My dad's on the other. He puts his hands in the air and starts cheering. He's like, yes, Charles Scott. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? The next play I'm watching, and I'm like, this moment is ruined for me. I'm like, I didn't even cheer. I'm like, this is ruined for me.
Yeah, my older, even like when the TV in the same home is ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
So my son was watching LSU Coastal game 1 when Cade, went the distance, and when they got the final out, like we were about 8-9 seconds behind. He comes out, let's go, and I'm like, you son of a gun. But I was happy because LSU won.
Yeah. I know. I was trying to refrain from texting the group until like a few seconds after it happened.
Because you were actually boots on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. LSU made a big field goal. Maybe I think it might have been the Cade York in the fall. Or I remember I was watching it by myself because I'm not watching LSU Florida with anybody. There's nobody. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be around me. I have to now because I'm calling the games.
Call the game, yeah.
Now, 17 pencils are broken, but I didn't know, so my room was hardwired. Everything else was, wireless. So I was getting it a lot faster than everybody else. And typically, I wouldn't ruin that. But, man, I came out of the room sprinting. Because, look, Cade, we were 21-point dogs to Florida on the road, and a guy throws a cleat. And because of that, we get to kick a field goal that nobody could see where the field goal posts actually were, but he nails it right down the middle. 56, 57 yards, whatever it was.
It's 57, I believe.
Right? And so, everybody in the home knew he made that field goal before they saw it.
I don't know about y'all, but, just this whole conversation has got me so ready for football season.
So ready.
Oh, my God. I'm so excited.
Some would say, let's go. If you want it, you can get it. Let me know.
Yeah.
We're about that.
LFG.
Well, T-Pain's a part of that song.
Boom.
Let's go.
Yeah.
What is that song?
If you want some, come get some.
I remember that
Trick
point.
Daddy?
Trick Daddy. God, we talked about it the other day because it was Trick Daddy and T-Pain. And on that note, we will take a break. And when we come back, we're sorta, kinda, maybe going to talk some New Orleans Saints here on OTB.
Off the bench.
I'm just kidding, Tay-Tay. We're going to talk
Absolutely.
Saints. I'm actually going to be covering training camp for the Saints for NFL Radio on July the 30th. How about that?
Get out of town.
Boots on the ground. All the back sweat in Metairie. You should go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com when you go to the website, buying new, leasing, and renting. If you've got something coming up, maybe if you want to go to the beach one last time, or maybe, I don't know, you got a volleyball tournament. Hey, maybe you got a baseball, softball, soccer, whatever tournament. Now's the perfect time because, sure, you've got a midsize SUV and normally it's good enough for you and the family, but you've got extra, you've got stuff, you've got gear, and you need a full-size SUV. That Sequoia is waiting on you in the rental process. Go buy new, go lease, go rent. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Every car has an expiration date. If you are driving around and you're like, man, it's time to change, don't wait. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Check out what they have on the lot. Start the resale process. Start the buyback process. allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Locked in on LSU football 24/7. You're listening to Off the Bench.
Esa mujer me está matando, me ha espinado el corazón. Por más que trato de olvidarla, mi alma.
What you doing over there, Matt?
What do you mean?
You're placing
All right, so
trading cards
give
and
everyone an
sleeves.
update. Hester and I, we've decided to bring our couple sports cards in today, our bangers that we got right now.
Yep.
We're going to get these prepped and ready and shipped off to be graded. We might do a little rush grade on these ones too.
Yeah, we might. We might, dabble in the card game. Check out Off the Break LA. That stands for Louisiana, not Lower Alabama or Los Angeles. Off the Break LA on Instagram or X to kind of follow along this journey. But we've got some heavy hitters.
Got some heavy hit. We brought the heavy hitters in.
We're
today.
sending off to PSA to get graded. And
Should we go through them now?
I think we should.
All right.
Yeah,
we'll
while
go through
Tay
a
looks
couple.
up for the video.
We'll go through a couple here. We'll go through the other couple, maybe in a few segments. This is the number one right here. Well, that's not the number one. We got a couple number ones. Check this one out. This one's called Jaden Daniels Downtown.
He's pretty good.
Ever heard of him? We're going to send this one off to get graded. Be really nice if we got a 10. Let's see. We got Caleb Williams. You want to explain this one? Is international select?
Yeah, you can only get the dragon scale on the international boxes, and that has a very Game of Thrones feel to it with the dragon scale.
This is a gold dragon
card.
scale.
It is a gold dragon. That's the best dragon scale that you can get. It's out of 10. So
Only 10 of these made
couple
in the whole wide world.
couple doll hairs in Flynn's hands over there.
That's right. Last one I'll bring up right now. Brock Bowers.
White Pandora.
White Pandora Uptowns.
So you want uptowns and downtowns, but this is a white Pandora. So there's only 25 of these made.
This is number 10 of 25.
It is. It's the only good thing the Raiders have ever done.
So we're sending these off. With our huge expertise in this stuff, we deemed these good looking enough to grade. So we're going to send this off. We'll keep you all informed on the journey here. We're going to pray for 10s.
No.
Like Billy Bob said, a 10.
What else he say?
A real good 10.
A real good 10.
A real good 10.
All right, Tay, have you found that video yet? Oh, that's okay. We're all
Yes.
good. I told you late.
No, I have it. I just Instagram's format's weird. I gotta like zoom in. Give me 1 second.
Okay. One.
You want me to give you all a tour breakdown?
Sure, Matt. I know you're dying to do it.
I hadn't really been following it a lot because I've been focused on my push-ups and these cards in the break. So let me study up. Well, I told you earlier,
so-
Tade lost his yellow jersey yesterday. But
Dang.
1 second.
1 second?
Yeah, the guy was in the breakaway. He was. The
You
guy
can't
that
make
had
up
yellow-
1 second? Like you can't push a little bit harder?
Well, he's not like a guy that's the guy that has the yellow jersey. Not a threat to win the overall tour. So it's like sometimes they'll let those guys who are on a threat off in a breakaway, and it just seems how it finishes.
There's too much here. There's too much like, hey, let's let him go by
Right.
because we got this. Hey, if he wins,
it's
it
called
doesn't
strategy,
really matter.
pal.
Or hey, this guy's a little bit faster than me today. Let's let him win. Like,
It's
hell
called
with that.
strategy.
you go win. There's winners and there's losers.
You can't just throw a football team
Yeah.
out on the field and tell them to just go beat them up and win
tell
the
them
game.
go win.
Got to have a strategy. Clock management, game plans.
All right, that's enough of that. All right, here is a video of a couple of New Orleans Saints giving you their LSU
Who you want first?
Mount Rushmore. It doesn't matter. However you're feeling, Tay.
Okay. Okay, we're waiting. Okay.
That's good.
Let's start with Billy Cannon. I mean, he was this legendary Heisman Trophy winner. Number 2 for me, being partly biased, I have to put Patrick Peterson in there. I just thought he just brought so much great attention to the program, and he was somebody that I could really, look up to and follow. Number 3 is Joe Burrow. I thought what he did at LSU was just, like that's hard to do. My 4th one might surprise some people, but I would actually put Jaden Daniels as my number 4.
That didn't surprise me.
That's not shocking
That
at
doesn't
all.
surprise me at all. He's on my Mount Rushmore as well.
You got to put the 3 Heisman winners on there for sure.
You have to do that, and then you put Glenn Dorsey, and then you're done. All right, Tay, here is False to Moreau's Mount Rushmore for LSU.
Rushmore. Is there any other? It's just guys. It's just people. Does it have to be offensive guys?
Ask
Defensive
too many
guys?
questions.
He did 2 and 2. Did he do himself? God, he's such a nice guy, man. Brandon Harris, Anthony Jennings,
Brandon Harris.
Malachi Dupree, Darius Geis, what a guy. Will Clapp, I like that answer a lot, actually. Lloyd Cushenberry. Okay, let me think. I'll do Danny Etling 4 times. My LSU Mount Rushmore is Danny Etling 4 times. I just want 4 of his perfect chin structure and physique, his sheer cheekbones. What a guy. Okay, I'll give you a real one. I'd say my LSU Mount Rushmore is probably Billy Cannon, Glenn Dorsey is a big one, Richard Dixon at the tight end position.
Let's go, Dick Dixon.
I gotta go Joey B, Joe Burrow.
All right. Well done, fellas. Nice job there.
I mean,
I love
Foster.
the Richard Dixon shout out. Our guy, number 18. Let's go. Before
that little tight end love.
before Mason Taylor, our guy Dick Dixon had every single record that you possibly could have. And that was a time when, LSU didn't set a lot of passing records.
We weren't setting a lot. And it wasn't like the tight end was usually supposed to be like the highlight of our offense.
Yeah, because we had let's see, Dwayne Bowe, Buster Davis, both first round receivers. Early was a third rounder. Demetrius Byrd would have been higher than a seventh rounder. Unfortunately, he got in an accident. So,
And then LaFille was a stud.
oh yeah, JoJo, yeah.
And Richard always, to this day, makes fun of me and gives me a hard time because he scored 2 touchdowns in the national championship.
Yep.
Says he should have had 3 if I didn't throw a ball behind him.
Yep.
But like I always tell him, it was on purpose because I wanted to win the offensive MVP and not you having 3 receiving touchdowns. Duh.
True. I only had 1 that game. But you know what? Ohio State
Only had 1 that game.
Ohio State didn't give up a 100-yard rusher all season, and I think I finished like 80, somewhere between 84 and 86, some 87, 86.
I have it right here.
And there was one run that I definitely should have like just gone outside a little bit more, but I was like, let me go try to run over Laurinaitis.
Yeah.
And I could have picked up at least 20 more yards, and I would have been the only guy to rush for over 100 yards on the Buckeyes that year. I don't think about it at all.
They didn't have 100. No, obviously.
He's like, I don't even remember the play. It was second quarter, 6 minutes
exactly.
left.
We're going to the left side. It's me and Laurinaitis one-on-one. He's like bracing for impact because he knows what kind of runner I am because I'm a meathead. All I had to do was like dip one side inside, bounce outside. I would have picked up 15, 20 yards, 100 yards, boom. Only got to do it on them.
That was certainly a character flaw of yours as a football player. Was that you could have made a lot more yards if you just weren't such a meathead and wanted to hit people.
It's
just like bounce it
without question.
Bounce it, Jake. Mm-hmm. You could have made 20. Said you went for 4, but you run them over.
I remember like I'm a freshman, and Derek Dooley's our running back coach, and he's sitting there and we're watching film, and I break one out into the open. And like the corner's like 15 yards to my left. The safety's about 7 yards to my right. And there's nobody in front of me. So it could have been like a 50, 60-yard touchdown, maybe. And Dooley's like, hey, all right, say it. He said, Hester, the game of football, it's funny. It's really complicated. You see all this green grass right here that you avoided running towards, and you see the enemy that you ran right in his direction. We want to run more towards the green and less towards the enemy. Like, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I will. But you see, Coach, when I have the ball and I see the other team, I just want to hit them.
Yeah.
So I'll try it next time. No promises, dude.
I know. I probably could have had like 700 more yards in my career, but it's okay though. We got memories.
But Foster
and CTE.
Let me tell you, Danny Etling 4 times is objectively a funny answer. Yeah, great. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Brandon Harris right out the gate.
The Brandon Harris, Anthony Jennings.
Yep.
Shout out to Lloyd Cushenberry as well.
Yeah.
I'm glad he got him.
Well, hey, look, at some point, we're getting Danny on this show. And we're going to chop it up about his career at LSU, his post-career. It's going to be great.
All right. We'll close out hour number 2 when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Should we give like our own Saints Mount Rushmore? I'm ready to go with that. I got the names. I'm ready to go. Matt Flynn definitely not on there.
For sure.
No, definitely not on there.
Definitely
all right, go to boudreauxelectrical.com. You know what happened yesterday? I don't know if it happened to y'all. I'm doing off-campus, whole radio show I do. Boom! You heard it. Everything went dark. But you know what happened immediately after that? Right back up. I missed like maybe a minute, 30 seconds of the show after the power went out because generator immediately kicked on. All I had to do was log right back in. I was back on air because when you have a whole home generator, you have the ultimate peace of mind.
Yeah, I was actually walked into my kitchen yesterday and I looked at my oven and the time was blinking. And I was like, wait a minute, what happened? Did the power go out? I had no clue because we didn't even notice that it went out. That's because we got a whole home generator, boudreauxelectrical.com.
From players to legends, Hester and Flynn break down LSU football like only champions can.
All right, welcome back in OTB.
Got a big long segment here.
You got your Mount Rushmore of New Orleans Saints ready to go? I mean, summertime, you got to do one Mount Rushmore, and the Saints did it with LSU players. Why can't we do it with New Orleans Saints?
Remember when we called it Mount Everest for like an entire show? We were like, our Mount Everest of LSU players.
It happens.
I mean, that's
Not anywhere else, but it happens.
Yes.
I mean, Mount Everest is taller.
It is.
Higher peak.
It's a good point.
So I kind of like that better.
Oh, great. Here you go changing names of things again.
Well, you said you're the one that did it.
We did
For
for
a
like
whole
an
show.
entire show. Yeah. And
I'm
we
just
didn't
saying
notice
I
until
liked
somebody
it.
pointed it
I'm
out.
trying to be a foxhole and say I liked what y'all did. Excuse me.
How's a tour going over there?
We got 29 kilometers. That's kilometers.
How many miles?
That's 18.
Yeah, I'm American. Give me something.
Yeah.
That's 18. The Peloton's a minute, 2 behind the breakaway of 4 riders. We'll catch
Hour
up
3.
next hour.
Off the bench.
All right. As you know, Gulf Coast Office Products now on the squad. They're in the foxhole. And when your office runs smooth, well, guess what? Your business runs better. Gulf Coast Office Products, they specialize in the tech that keeps you moving. From top-tier copiers and printers to full-service document solutions, locally owned and trusted for over 45 years in the Baton Rouge area. Remember, multiple locations throughout the state of Louisiana. They are somebody that you can trust. 45 years of doing it the way they've been doing it, also opening multiple offices throughout that process. So whether you're a small business or a growing enterprise, Gulf Coast means business. Visit gcopnet.com today.
Your workplace efficiency lifeline. Louisiana's leading copier and printer source. Official partners of the Saints, the Pelicans, the Tigers, everybody. Go check them out today. Give them a call. See how they can help your business. gcopnet.com.